Well, that worked out better than I expected, somewhat. Welcome, everybody, to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts, the most, myself, Black Spartan, Show Guy Joe, Tafari TV. Fellas, it's the weekend. How we feeling?
It's been a good last couple of days, so I can't complain. Y'all better hold on to them, whatever consoles and games you got. It is tariff time, boys and girls.
If that is not the Doom song that nobody expected. Joe, about you?
I am really looking forward to playing that new version, gorilla themed version of Red Faction. Daredevil.
Okay.
Also, Daredevil. I finally got through watching Devil May Cry. Why is Mike Pence the main bad guy?
Are you serious? Because I want to pay attention. I've been swamped with so much crap the last 72 hours. I haven't had time to pay attention. Please tell me you're joking.
No.
I wish he was, but the level of comparison to the main villain in that right now, and I did not think about that till Joe said it. He's right. He's right. He's 100% right. Oh, that being said, guys, as you can see, we are a little bit older and leveled up, which means that we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, we do show movie trailers and video game trailers that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So before we get to Cinemacon and before we get to Nintendo and the PR fire that they have, there were a couple of trailers from Future Gamescom that we meant to come back to, but hey, things came up, more information came up. But there were two games we did want to cover before we get into the trailers from Cinemacon and going from there. Two shooters, which again, I'm happy about one that's coming out because again, I played it on PC and was happy when it was on PC, but now it seems it's going to be on more platforms. If you haven't heard of Painkiller, it's in the same vein as Doom, as Far Cry, a lot of your first-person shooters. But if you haven't seen it, let's really quickly show the trailer. That basically, guys, was Painkiller. Again, this is an older game, but it is being remastered. Like I said, if you're a fan of first-person shooters, if you're a fan of Doom, Serious Sam, and again, this is Painkiller. Painkiller is the best way I could say this, guys. It's Doom with more weapons. But again, worth playing. As you see, comes out this fall, which will be on PS5 and of course back on Steam.
Is it just from the same? Is it from the same company or is it just Doom-esque?
Doom-esque.
So in the words of Austin Powers, we should run. It's Doom, but due to international copyright law, it's not. But still, we should run like it is Doom.
Yep. Yeah, because Painkiller was actually not made by ID, but it was I'm trying to remember exactly who created, because Painkiller is almost a 10, 12-year-old game, and I forgot the company that was behind it. Although 3D Realms and Saber are the ones that are bringing it back for the remaster, which is great. Hey, Verb, saw you on my front page. I'm here.
Hey, Verb, long time no see, man. We miss you out here.
Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, Painkiller is definitely going to be nice. Speaking of video games, by the way, really quick, I had to give this to Tafari TV and Geek by Heart and a room full of blurs if she's still playing right now. South of Midnight, if you did get the early release, is out now. The reason why I scream Tafari and Lainey and Kira is because they have sold compulsion games. Like, look, we like what you're doing. We want to support you guys. And Compulsion Games said, bet. They got early access to play South of Midnight. Tafari, I know I was watching your stream on Tafari TV earlier. I think Laney and Geek by Heart. I'm not 100% sure, Laney. If you're watching this, let us know if you started. Kira over at Roomful of Blurs has been playing now. I think almost going on 2 hours now. I'm not sure if she's still alive or not. But definitely check them out. Again, South of Midnight was a game that we talked about that looked like it was going to be. Well, after watching them play, it looks very beautiful. Beautiful gameplay is great, and again, commentary because Tafari does this while on a treadmill. If you have not been on a treadmill and trying to do anything else but walk, this man has done this for 2 hours. He's in better cardio shape than I am at this rate. But Tafari, really quickly, your impressions of South of Midnight from what you played and what you thought of it.
Well, it stopped me from streaming Hulk 2003 again today because that was the original plan. But no, it's a good. It is what the story beats hit a lot harder and closer to home than you would expect. It very much goes between a Bayou Tale and Swamp Things to quickly getting into old folklore. How it ties into things that were happening in the South back in the past. Certain people trying to get access to certain powers and assets, but they realized they couldn't. But the people that they had power over could, and then trying to get it, and then generations upon the art style is beautiful too. Ahmed Best plays a couple of characters. He plays a character called Ro, who I haven't met in the game yet. You see him like in kind of like crossing paths, but we haven't had a full interaction. Yeah. He also plays like this little doll character. So he also did the vocal direction. So everything he kind of took. And if anybody's watched it, I forget what else she's in. Addison Rae. I know she had another show she was in, but if anybody watched the game, she is the adult version of Brittany Pitts, and that's where she's from, and now is starring in this. So it is it's a very linear game. It's very much, hey, there's like, here's this next bubble to explore you're in. After that, go straight. So it's not like super duper like fleshed out, but it's still fun enough. The story's easy to follow.
I never wanted to throw up.
No, okay. You can talk. That's why I always put it like close. So I try to I angle the treadmill to the TV because I realize that's what throws me off. Is if I aim straight like this, but the TV's that way, now my body starts turning, and that's why I almost fall. But if I aim it this way and then turn the monitor here, which is what I do, then I got you guys like in each eye, and it's less issues. So conversation is fully welcome. But yeah, South of Midnight is fun, especially if you already have Game Pass. It's gonna be, you can finish it by the time it leaves Game Pass. It's a nice free run, digital deluxe. You very much do notice they went in on the soundtrack, and the Hurricane experience is very much built by people who lived through a few. Because between the sound design, the way they have shit whispered in your ear in the headphones, the fact that you can feel the ground shaking like during the storm, I hope they win some award. It won't be anything big, but like one of those very small, like selective categories. Yeah, they deserve a few nominations for something at least.
No, that makes sense. But thank you for that. And like I said, Tafari TV, Geek by Heart, and Roomful of Blurs will all be streaming it. So definitely check out all their streams, show them love, follow it, especially for the commentary. Because if you've never heard Kira or Laney when they're on commentary, Tafari's commentary is good too. But something about Kira because again, Kira is now back to the fold of console gaming. So she's back into the waiting pool. It's always fun to watch her, and Laney always has commentary too. But definitely check out all three. Go ahead.
I feel like Roomful of Words. She's gonna have gamer rage.
She already does. You got to go back. You've already missed it. You missed a few moments. But she's already had gamer rage.
Yeah, when she got to double saber action on Jedi Survivor, there was evil laughter and no man left standing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but that's her in Star Wars. That's a different kind of thing. That's a different kind of thing.
So when I tell you
it's a different kind of joy. That's a different kind of anger.
Oh, when I tell you she has rage, sir, trust me. Follow the stream, you'll get it. Really quickly, also shout out to Catch Up Entertainment because Catch Up Entertainment not only has saved one Looney Tunes movie, they've actually saved another one. If you guys have been under a rock, they did actually purchase The Day the Earth Blew Up. now they have actually successfully rescued Coyote versus Acme, which again is another movie we were all wanting to see. Warner Bros. Discovery decided to shelve it. Ketchup Entertainment has turned around and said, no. I mean, well, they didn't say no, but they said how much. Discussions were made, and now Ketchup Entertainment has the distribution rights, or I should say the overall rights, to Coyote versus Acme. Which again, Ketchup Entertainment, if you haven't seen them, this is just a clip from their actual Instagram page.
And Daffy insisted we do them ourselves for authenticity. Let's talk about that screwy co-star of yours. How was your experience starring along Daffy Duck? Well, Daffy is a bit of a method actor, so when the camera stopped rolling, there were all sorts of shenanigans on set. He actually is still pranking me, that crazy duck. Wow, how did you manage his passionate approach? Well, I started doing yoga and meditation. Breath work helped a lot, but I really just had to be ready for anything on set, in my trailer, or even at home. Hey there, Porco! How's the big interview going? Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo! It seems like we lost Porky. Poor fella. Guess that's all for this interview, folks.
I'm definitely trying to win that giveaway below as well, so I will swap this poster behind me out of this frame for an autographed one.
And I'll throw this out there too. So yes, they are doing a giveaway, guys. If you see right there, follow, tag, share, which is again following Ketchup Entertainment, tagging them in your posts, and also sharing with others. Will get you in line to actually win a couple of movie posters. But again, we want to definitely give out our, shout out to Ketchup Entertainment. They are literally doing the Lord's work out here. It's the first time you're hearing about this? Yeah, Bert.
Now, I had a lot of people hit me up and say that. Like, they were like, hey, yeah, I had no idea this Looney Tunes. A lot of people didn't know until I posted the Blu-ray was up for pre-order. And they're like, I had no idea this was one in theaters or two even already up for DVD sales. And I'm just like, yeah, because I don't see Tubi getting this one.
Right. And at the same time, all I can sit there and say, Ketchup, is, could you guys literally and figuratively just take a shot at Batgirl? Just take a shot. That's all I'm asking. Take a shot. If you can take a shot, cool. If not, we understand. But hey, help us save another movie that should have actually been out for the world to see. But speaking of things for the world to see, Cinemacon 2025 happened, and as Tafari said it on another podcast, it happened at the weirdest time during the weirdest part of the week, to where unless you were paying attention, it would have passed you by.
You do the cool. It's like the fair in Florida. You go during when the sun is up and during the weekday when the hoodlums are asleep and the knuckleheads are at school. That way you avoid all the problems. And they said, hey, let's do that before a whole cinema convention.
Made sense. A lot of news did come out from Cinemacon, which we will cover, but I would be remiss if James Gunn didn't turn around and sit there and say, y'all just gonna leave me out of this? Because this came out, I want to say Thursday. So during Cinemacon, James Gunn decided to give us a sneak peek at Superman. And again, it doesn't disappoint.
Crypto, take me home. 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 Thank you.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever, merely automatons here to serve. Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me.
14 fractured bones.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
With a healthy dose of yellow sun, we'll have you up and at 'em in no time.
Level 4?
292 times Saharan Prime, please one.
Who's back?
Superman.
Leave it to James Gunn to basically turn around and drop something during Cinemacon, and for almost 5 minutes, you're sitting there watching. I got nothing to say about that except the fact that July 11th ain't too far off from us, guys. I think all three of us have sat there and said we're all watching this movie. So,
Yeah, I just had it, and I think we're only getting that one teaser trailer in this. If they don't drop anything, if they No Way Home this and give us like that one piece of footage, and it's like that's all I'm okay with that, because I still have no idea what this is about or what we're watching, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If this is just going to be like different days and headaches and the Chronicles of Superman, like an episode of Justice League, where it's just like, here's the shit you got to deal with on a weekly basis. Like that's, I'm very much predicting like that whatever that floating eyeball is a full-on scene of like, you know what, for once you guys got it, I'm just gonna sit here and watch. That's very much what I'm getting from that scene between the teaser photo and seeing him and Lois. I'm like, doesn't seem like a very much a go get him tiger. That seems like, you know what, guys got it.
Pretty much. What did Verb say? Who was the last filmmaker like that, like Gunn, that could resurrect so many IPs? Resurrecting IPs? I can't really think of a director that did that. because I can tell you a few that have had a lot of great IPs behind them, but
I mean, if you put Blade in Ryan Coogler's hands at this point,
I mean, yeah, Ryan Coogler probably the closest one. What do you say, Joe?
So Blade is gone. We just need to let that go.
Well, a Marvel exec did confirm that the Blade movie is dead. However, they did not say about it. They still said that Ali will be playing the role, I guess, in other movies. But again,
fantastic. That's all we need. We don't need a full Blade movie until they can make the simple mathematical equation of vampire hunter plus vampire equal smash together make movie.
Yep. But Joe, any thoughts on Superman?
I have been seeing things around where people are already making fun of the fact that sunlight is hurting him, and I just don't think people understand that rapid healing in the comics hurts. Bones snapping back into place, organs going back into socket, and mending, and nerves reattaching themselves kind of hurt, even if you're Superman, because those are super bones and super organs going back into place. But also, Crypto just wants to play.
Crypto was.
He's like, why did you call me here? Why did you call me here? If you did the whistle, and now you don't. Now, first off, that first pounce definitely broke a rib. That was not a normal dog jump.
That was good by ribs.
Corns gave an interview where he's like, I hate that dog so much. I hate him. No, and he's saying it's the reason I say this because the dog is a wonderful actor, but I hate that dog because we don't. The moment he shows up, it's no longer a Superman movie; it's a Crypto movie, and Superman's just along for the ride.
Literally.
And honestly, he's at the Fortress of Solitude. He's breaking robots, breaking things, letting things out of the cage, just destroying the house. He's more trouble than he's worth. I love that dog, but I hate that dog.
Although Verb, you are right. That is great count. That is great Blade class casting. But we're gonna see. We ever do get to see him. The pounce that broke the rib. Yeah, that
first jump feels like, we didn't know. Like that wasn't staged or CGI. Like, no, we didn't know he could jump that high. We just let him go, and then he kept saying stop, and he just wouldn't. And James just wouldn't yell cut. He just let it run.
Oh, so he's Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi with his director. Where he just beats on him constantly, over and over.
Pretty much.
The other thing I was going to say about Blade is now Mahershala Ali can come back as Cottonmouth, and we just say that was a life model decoy.
I mean, we could. He's technically we saw something, but we didn't really see him die. But
the hand still has some of that Black Revival, not Lazarus Pit fluid, so I think, or they can get more. Anything's possible. I mean, also, Warner Brothers. I don't know if you're still hemorrhaging money, but just off this clip alone. Just start with the Crypto toys. Just set plushies out at every movie theater. You got it right now. Strike while the iron is hot.
You know, I saw this the other day, and Kevin Feige can give the biggest finger to DC ever. Is if he made a Squadron Supreme movie with all the DC, with the Snyder actors, with Ryan Reynolds coming back as Dr. Spectrum.
That would be petty. But I could see that.
Brilliant.
It would be brilliant, but it would be petty. But I don't know if Kevin Feige would do that. He already sat there and told us that, hey, you didn't get all the casting. You didn't see all the cast from Avengers Doomsday. But
he also said that there will be a gigantic fight scene of Avengers versus X-Men versus Thunderbolts versus
I saw
Fantastic Four.
I saw X-Men, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, Avengers, all versus Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll be fighting each other. I don't know if they're fighting each other, but I know he said they're all basically gonna. And I wonder,
it's a comic book movie.
Yeah, but before we get to information, guys, there is some other trailers we do gotta cover that weren't Cinemacon-esque, but still makes you want to worth watching it. Like this one, we did get a Karate Kid Legends new trailer because, well, they're invested. But if you haven't seen it, here it is.
You want to talk about it?
My mom wants us to leave everything behind.
Sometimes it is the only way to move forward. You come to America. New rules. New school. No fighting. You make any friends?
Yeah, I did. One.
What's his name?
Mia?
You study karate or something?
Kung Fu. Used to. I don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah, you're clearly over it.
Who's your friend?
Connor, don't start.
You really want to do this?
You can't step to guys like him. He wins the 5 boroughs every year. It's the biggest tournament in the city.
In life, we have only one question. Is it worth fighting for it or not?
So we're just supposed to let him fight. So that he can end up like his brother.
So that he does not end up like his brother. Lee means to me what you meant to Sensei Miyagi. I want Lee to learn Miyagi karate.
I'm sorry, Mr. Han. I wish I could help you.
You will.
I'm not coming to New York.
I will see you in the Big Apple. Sensei LaRusso.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
You have a foundation of Kung Fu.
We're gonna build upon that with karate.
Ancient way.
Miyagi way. There's 2 of them. Focus! This represents the history between the 2 families. 2 branches, 1 tree. This is why I came to train you. Remember what you're fighting for.
When you understand that, you'll be ready.
I was born in the struggle, born to survive.
All right, so that was the trailer for Karate Kids Legends. I'm not gonna lie, somebody was watching Best of the Best. Somebody was watching Best of the Best in Bloodsport because I get elements from all those things. But fellas, what are we thinking now that we see Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio coming back? And again, it's like Verb said it best. What does Verb sit there and say? I ain't gonna front. I am hyped. He hyped for this. I'm hyped for this too. But what do you guys think?
Surprise cameo by Jaden Smith pending.
Yep. Oh, he's gonna pop in somewhere. I'm just not to say that the next Karate Kid wasn't bad, but we know that's coming. But Joe, what about you?
I'm down. Like all the actors are great.
Karate Kid, I blame AC. Who's AC?
The new kid they got, he was great in that Disney Channel series that Gene Ewing made. I want to say it's like I can't remember, but he's like the best friend is the son of Sun Wukong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cobra Kai.
Hmm?
Cobra Kai plays into this a little bit too, right?
This happens after Cobra Kai, apparently.
Right.
Is Cobra Kai done, or this is just okay?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, Cobra Kai's done.
Are we possibly going to see Blue Beetle's actor here? Because I know he got his start. That show was like his big break, wasn't it?
Yes. So I'm not sure if we are going to see. I'm not going to be honest with you. I think we might see some stars from Cobra Kai in this. I'm really surprised we're not seeing what's his face? William. I can never think of his last name. Xander, something like that. I'm surprised he's not in it, considering the fact. But yeah. Right, Verb, is all the
they're all out in LA. And this is happening.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
This is all happening. They're all out in LA, and this is happening in New York. So,
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
You got to find a valid reason for everyone to be there, which I guess makes sense.
Right.
And also, are we having an unsanctioned 5-borough battle? Because isn't this usually in the '90s films where the paddy wagon breaks out and everyone scatters? They took Shredder's lair and put it on a rooftop.
I'm just saying, it's like no referee, no nothing. I said, so we're just going full on MMA. All right. Well, I can't knock it too much, I guess. But either way, I think it is all the combined universes. Like I said, Cobra Kai has wrapped up. If you haven't seen it, the last season was actually pretty freaking great. They did kind of give a nice ending. So if you haven't seen Cobra Kai, Definitely check it out on Netflix. It is definitely worth watching. But before we get to the next trailers, we do got a couple of short video game announcements that did happen, especially this one, which I knew the internet was going to run with this one when Emma Frost got announced for Marvel Rivals, and it did not take long for them to go with it. But if you haven't played Marvel Rivals and you don't know what's going on, 2 new characters have been announced for next season, and the one we have right now is Emma Frost.
Just when I thought was out to pull me.
Light Queen's reign begins. You deserve that, dear. Mind crush. You were beneath me. Impervious. Pathetic. How embarrassing. Kneel, peasants! That's White Queen mind control.
Now, if you're wondering why this is kind of a big thing, guys, is because season 2 of Rivals is the Hellfire Gala. If you don't know about the Hellfire Gala, I would highly recommend you pick up a comic book because certain things do happen during the Hellfire Gala. And of course, Marvel Rivals is no exception, as you can see from the skins there that are on various people. But with season 2, we do get Emma Frost, and we also do get Eltron. Eltron has yet to show up as of right now. So once there is video on that, we will definitely go from there. I throw this to Joe because Joe usually plays in more Marvel Rivals than I do. Where's that part right now? Your opinion, sir?
I was trying to take a break, and then they do this to me, so now I got to come back. Mm-hmm. They got my other favorite woman of Marvel in the game. So, of course, I'm going to play Emma Frost.
Well, that's
she's
true.
like Marvel's Catwoman. No, Marvel's Catwoman would be Black Cat. But
if you want to talk attitude-wise, then
yeah,
a little bit. Emma very much serves total see you next Tuesday energy, especially
that's true.
She was very much, what is it? She survived Genosha out of spite. She's like, I am a diamond in the rough, and I will tell everyone's business in this life and the next, just not yet.
She is the only woman that talked down to Storm and shut Storm down multiple times.
Yeah,
but I was not something you walk away with.
I was wondering why everybody was crying and bitching and moaning outside of the Superman trailer because apparently people don't know that the sun works for him. And then I see people like, oh, why is she dressed like that? But now that you say Hellfire Gala, I don't even read comics like that, but I know the Hellfire Gala is like there's whole trends of like cosplayers like, what if I went to the Hellfire Gala as this character? Mm-hmm. So the fact that that's what the outfit is themed, it makes sense. Like,
oh, that's not any of her Hellfire Gala costumes. That's one of her normal costumes.
That's the thing is that, and again, people think that they're over sexualizing Emma Frost. Has never seen a comic.
Read an Emma Frost book.
Right. You've never read an Emma Frost book if you think she's over sexualized.
There's a new trailer out now that shows one of her win poses, and she's in her black X-Men costume.
Yeah.
Which is even more revealing than the Hellfire Gala costume.
Mm-hmm.
Like
way revealing.
The woman is a living fashion icon and has been for a while in the books.
If we're really being honest, the last Tony Stark issue where he had to face Orchis and dealing with that, she was moderately dressed, and that's saying a lot in the comic.
What she's done on the game right now is just what she wears for Tuesday.
Pretty much. But
however,
again,
we do read the book. You know what she wears to bed? A Punisher t-shirt and some shorts. And she sleeps like a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm. She loves to provoke. But no. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, and she sleeps like she sleeps like a 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
But what's crazy is, and again, it's not over sexualizing, guys. It's if you really do, and we don't mean to say this to be mean. we say this for knowledge because, again, if you go back and read comics or you go back and even look at some previous animations, or even go back to X-Men First Class, prime example.
I have the visual aids. Give me a moment.
No, go ahead. But no, if you don't remember Emma Frost, she was in X-Men First Class, right next to Kevin Bacon. We all saw what she was wearing, and again, provocative at best, but at the same time, it's nothing that we're not used to. However, with Rivals, there's always going to be different skins, especially the Hellfire Gala. And again, it's not over-sexualizing, although she was compared to a certain actress, which I will not say because that name should never be mentioned on this show.
Let's see if I can get it in frame. This is the first half of the night's Hellfire Gala costume.
Yay.
This is the end of the evening's Hellfire Gala costume.
Where she was fully in her suit and wearing a napkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diamond form would just beat a dress.
Pretty much. But again, just for all those that don't know and just crying about everything. Oh, we go. Oh, go ahead. See, even that's fine.
Like I said, what she's got on in the game is a normal Tuesday outfit.
Yeah. But still, just for the incels that are crying, go outside, touch some grass, and like old boy said, get some therapy.
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm just like, is everybody like, y'all get hit upside the head today? Because between, I don't even want to know if these were Snyder fans. These are just, it's gotta be rage bait at this point. It's like, he's weak and has to get him like, the sun is like his most common thing, and then they're just like, why is Emma dressed like that? I'm like, y'all are shocked. She's from the few times I've seen Emma, she dresses to impress. Even in Wolverine in the X-Men, which was like short-lived, she very much was Emma keeps herself stylish everywhere she goes.
Right.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. I hope they do this. I hope they have her hitting on Steve in the game because she has a huge crush on Captain America.
Oh, it's probably going to happen. If the devs pay attention, like I think they pay attention, it'll probably will be. But we'll come by.
It goes over Steve's head, and he just like treats her like a very nice, polite lady.
Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be an interesting season 2. But also the other video game trailer we do got, guys, which is still by far the weirdest intro I've ever seen for a fighting character in Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves, which we're not too far away from that being released. If you got to play the beta was actually last week and still fun to play, although I can't wait for the full version to come out. That being said, we did get introduced to a DJ character, Salvatore Ganacci. I'm not going to lie. I'm not know what to take from this. I'm just going to play this and let you make up your own judgment.
Ronaldo supremacy. Joe's like, I'm not responding to that.
Like it.
You ready? Here we go. Get up. Animato. Let's sing. Peace at pig. And scratch hard. Right here. Let's up. Banger. Close one. Hear that? Sounds like victory. How's that for a hit? Hear that? That's sweet music. Listen up. Get down. To my groove. Okay. Love is all you need. Fatal Fury. City of the Wolves.
So first off, I will go first on this. Yes, you can go over to Maximilian, dude. He talks and puts out a video about how strangely and eerily similar they look. 2, I have watched exactly one music video of his, and it's pretty much this what this fighting game is. And 3, Oons 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 is now a feasible martial arts style.
Tafari, you can go. I got
what was with the lazy give me your lunch money, kid ass put? Like, what was that? Was that a grab?
No, so everything he does in the game is something he's done in a music video.
Oh.
So, like, if you look up his music video, Horse, his level 3 is entirely based on that.
All I gotta sit there and say is, if you are gonna go Rev 2 and literally do that entire combo to me, I'm sorry, that's gonna be a rematch. That's gonna be a rematch, and I'm just gonna.
I was waiting for you to say you're just disconnecting right there.
Say what? Oh,
I was
no, I
waiting
won't
for you to say you're
disconnect.
disconnecting right there.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. I am not giving you the satisfaction of disconnecting. Not on that. Oh no, it's gonna be a run back moment because that is the most. I haven't seen something that disrespectful since John Walker. I'm just saying. You're not gonna throw that on me and think that I'm just gonna be just fine with it. I'm just saying.
So this also begs the question: we only got one character slot left, even for the main roster. Do we get another real life character, like left pocket real life character, or do we get Kim Jae-hoon, the twin brother for Dong Won? Because I know Hakoto Maru is probably out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm calling a toss up. It could be either or. Baka Chun-Li. Yeah, I remember that. Baka Chun-Li tape. No. You're not the only one.
Baka Chun-Li tape. Is that anything like Pearl from Steven Universe's hidden rap career?
Well, technically, all the fusions are different singers.
Yeah.
No. Pearl's voice actress does actually have a minor rap career.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, look up Pearl's hidden rap career, and the voice actress's rap stuff comes up.
Wow. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. But still, that is an interesting character. But watch, he'll become somebody's main. But no, Joe, to answer your question though, I don't know, because I had an idea who could be the last person for the roster, but right now, it can be almost anybody, really and truly. So, but come April 24th, we're definitely gonna find out because I'm definitely playing it. Really quick before we get to our trailers, wanted to throw this in here, Will, as we're talking about it. Devil May Cry on Netflix is out right now. All 8 episodes are there, just 30 minutes apiece. I will go ahead and say this: it is worth watching. It is great story. As Joe has said it, it's a certain allocation to the main villain. Now that I can't unsee it, thanks, Joe, for that.
It makes me sad that Kevin Conroy voices that character because now his final performance is anime Mike Pence.
Still, I mean, but it was he did a good villain. I can't knock him for it. But not to give too much away because again, every episode is great. The animation is great. I'm not a fan of the intro because we talked about this earlier. You know, Limp Bizkit being the intro to Devil May Cry when they have so many other bangers they can go with. That's my only nitpick about it. But everything else is great. Not going to say anything more about it because, again, it goes into spoiler territory, and I don't want to do that since it's just not got released. But I will happily say, guys, it is definitely worth watching. That also being said, back to the trailers. Into Cinemacon. Cinemacon did give us a lot of nuggets. Specifically one where, again, David Filoni must have been listening because we have sat there and said, we wanted different stories from Star Wars, and he bust out with Tales of the Underworld, which will be available on Disney Plus come May the 4th, as it may the 4th be with you. But if you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
Just do as I say. Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, You're no stranger, Lady Ventress.
We got a problem here. Just saw him right in.
What's the situation?
He was your best friend. Things have changed.
You took everything from me.
Who are you?
I was Count Dooku's lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
Bane? No one needs to die.
Get them.
You're gonna pay for what you did.
This revenge. I hope it was worth it.
It will be.
All right, so that was Tales of the Underworld Star Wars. That'll be available on May 4th on Disney Plus. As we said before, this is exactly what we wanted. Right, Verb, it does look fly. Because again, there are more stories in Star Wars than just the Jedi Sith stories. There's more stories than just the Skywalker series. There's more stories out there that need to be told from the Star Wars to expand that universe. Tales of the Underworld looks like it's going to do that because again, I kind of wish I did have Lady Mando with me right now, but she's currently still streaming on Roomful of Blurs with South of Midnight because she can go more into Star Wars lore than I can. But fellas, what are we thinking? Is it exactly along the lines of what we're asking for from Mr. Filoni, or should he still continue to look?
I wish it was more than shorts. Now that I've got I paid more attention because one, Cat, I get it. It was cool to have the desert showdown. You didn't need to kill him off in Book of Boba Fett. That was just, especially because that was actually a decent live action look they pulled off. I'm also realizing this is Cad before he's got what the face apparatus is or whatever. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see if we see how he ends up with those. The fact that Ventress could grow hair all this time and just chose not to is also shocking to me. But
yeah. But it's interesting how they're telling that story, especially with Cade, concerning the fact that it's like, oh, but what happened in bad? What happened in? I said, don't ignore that, because again, he wasn't really killed off. It was like again, this is the story beforehand before that part. But Joe, what's your opinion?
I mean, it's fine. It looks like it's just going to be multiple continuous stories between Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane, which is fine. I guess this is going to be how Asajj gets her apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I guess technically in this way, since she's a yellow saber, she's a Jedi again or something. Bounty hunter. She gets like a Jedi Padawan that's going to be like her bounty hunter apprentice, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it can still go ahead.
I mean, I'm not really asking for it. This is not Tales of the Bounty Hunters like the book was, but I take what I can get. As long as it's decent and done by has at least the same caliber of attention that Bad Blood got.
Yeah, but I think I would like it though. I mean, I think it'll be cool to watch because I definitely, like I said, I got Star Trek down, but Star Wars not so much. So it'll definitely be a lot of learning on me. But let us know what you think. I know, Verb, you already said it. It looks fly as all get out, so I definitely get that. What'd you say? I'm just going to say I usually agree with T, like 80-20. That shit looks sick. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm guessing this is going to be post. I feel like this is going to be episode 2, maybe, followed by Ventress's stuff being what I guess post Bad Batch. So I think we're going to be bouncing between time. Also, I'm now realizing all of his people are not blue. So I'm curious if we got a Brock and Sindri situation going on here.
Maybe, but either way, say what, Joe?
To which I would just say, well, you know.
I mean, possibly, but we'll see come May the 4th. As in May the 4th be with you. So, couple of teaser trailers that we do got again coming from Cinemacon. This one from Paramount, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I apologize, guys. Words are hard right now. They did give a trailer for their season 3. Again, if you have not seen Strange New Worlds, or if you have not seen Lower Decks, or if you have not seen Discovery, you are missing out and would highly recommend that you do. But here's the teaser trailer for season number 3.
We want to give audiences a reflection of their own world through the lens of fantasy. So, you know, science fiction.
All of that with weekly space adventures?
Let's hit it.
Our reality has been changed.
I see it. I don't believe it.
Exciting, isn't it?
Good morning.
Good morning, bye.
Your host is dead, and one of you murdered him.
I got here just in time. We're going to wire the Enterprise.
Hello?
It's for you.
Port thruster standing by. Do you realize how rare a show like this is?
Indeed.
We only have one shot.
That's all we need.
Hang on.
And guys, that was the teaser trailer for season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Again, I stress very heavily, if you have not seen Strange New Worlds, if you have not seen Lower Decks, if you have not seen Discovery, you are missing out on 3 great Star Trek series out there. Flies, okay, Verb. Hey, Lainey, we were just talking about you and South of Midnight, and let us know what you think, because I think you played a little bit, so let us know what you think about South of Midnight. But yeah, Boop, Verb both know that looked ass. Damn. Really?
Damn, Verb.
Really, Verb?
Hey, the man likes what he likes.
You said convince me. I was like, well, I mean, I'm a Trekkie, so I'm impartial. I don't know what else I can say.
How much does Star Trek have going? Is this it for Star Trek right now? Because I think Lower Decks is done, isn't it?
Lower Decks is done.
I got the final season coming in the mail tomorrow.
So yeah, Lower Decks is done. Picard is, I think, over. And then this is all they got going right now. No?
No, we got one more. We got the new Starfleet Academy coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Starfleet Academy will be the last of it, but yeah, Strange New Worlds I believe is ending after season 3. So yeah, again, still great stuff to watch if you do get a chance.
We got a holodeck episode this season, which I find weird because this is like post, or this is like pre-Kirk Enterprise.
Yeah.
So I find it weird we're getting a holodeck episode.
It is weird. And you're right. Room Full of Blurs is still playing, Laney. I just checked on her. She's
Kira's going to be done in 2 days. She's not putting it down. Thank you, Compulsion Games and Xbox, for the free codes.
Right. But what are you saying, Joe?
Like I said, I just find it weird that we're getting holodecks that early because, like, but I guess it's a convenient storytelling device.
Yeah.
For Trek that they couldn't use in the Kirk era, but this is like pre-Kirk era, but it's weird. We get Klingons again, though. We had old school Klingons.
Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick, but still fun. The other teaser trailer we have, this will probably be more toward my oldest son because apparently he loves Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm still trying to understand the attraction. I don't.
We got a new trailer for 2 now.
It's a teaser I think we got, but I kind of get it because the game came out like my freshman year at college. Like, it could have been this big that more adults would understand, Slender Man, but then they made a movie and it was terrible, and we just never heard from them ever again. Freddy's, however, took the high route and was like, hey, we'll listen to people and try to make a story out of this somewhat. And then I realized, it's like it's scary without being gory, which is how you got a lot of kids into it. Gameplay mechanics were simple. Then you made an iPad version. Then you put it on consoles. Then you started adding lore, people making songs.
Yeah.
When you properly feed into the fandom, you get kids like my sister was like, yeah, I grew up with this. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, you were like a toddler in 2014, and now it's like 2024, and here you are with this film that when people were really, when you work with your fans, you can put out a movie for free on Peacock, and they'll still go pay movie tickets instead, which is how we got here. So I give Freddie credit for where it's gotten because they listened.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. This is a trailer for it. Like I said, I don't understand the attraction, but then again, I'm not supposed to. Here's Five Nights at Freddy's 2 teaser.
Welcome back. Are you ready to start the show? Count with me now. 5, 4, 3.
They're out there, Mike.
2.
Where?
1.
Everywhere.
Showtime!
And that was a teaser trailer. As you can see, guys, it will be coming out December 5th, only in theaters, because they're really trying to make a push back to theaters on this one, especially with the 45-day cycle. If you haven't heard, AMC's trying to do that. What did Lainey say? This looks better than the first. It looks like it's actually scary. Because she's the griot of horror, I take her word for it. Fellas, what we thinking as far as seeing the under a minute trailer? Does it make you want to watch the second one, or would you rather wait for a more in-depth look?
I think it's good because the second one is where I was like, all right, how do y'all keep having all these damn buildings with all the same stuff happening? And it looks like they released found. It seems like they didn't write themselves into a corner last movie, which is good. It also very much seems like the first one very much seemed like who was behind it, Blumhouse or
I don't want to say Blumhouse.
Good. I know Blumhouse is very much, hey, you have a budget and that is that. But it very much seems like they were given a lot of extra fund money to have for this movie. So I think they'll be fine, especially if they bring more horror YouTubers into it. You got Corey Kenshin at the house. That got enough people in seats.
Right. It does make sense. Joe, what about you?
I mean, for a guy that wrote programmed Bible games, he's doing great with horror.
How to use the machines to scare
It's actual truth, guys, if you weren't aware of that.
I did not know. I did not know.
Yeah,
but
he made us start working on programming Bible games.
Really?
This whole series? The guy who made like
before Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthorn was a programmer for Bible games.
I did not know that.
So that Jesus Christ game that came out was just missing his touch. Got it.
Nice.
This looks fun, a little bit more horror-based. Obviously, one of those high danger hides in plain sight since they're animatronic robots out in the world and stuff like that. So this looks decent. I wonder if it's the same spirits because it looks I kind of thought that they exercised the original ones, the 5 original kids when they went after Matthew Lillard. So,
see, that's the thing I don't know. That's why I have to go back to Peacock and I gotta watch it. So
I believe they did, and I believe in the game we found out there was more than one person that was in on it. And I think the ones that we know of were just the last batch of victims. And then they do have a one where it's like basically they connect all of them, and the whole thing has been to get the animatronics in one building, and then they burn it down to like exercise everyone. I forget, that was like a spin-off game.
I had to go back. I had to go back actually.
I watched some lore videos. I was not watching all them playthroughs.
I should have brought my son on this because if anybody is a expert, it would be him. This man, that boy is trying to tell me about Five Nights at Freddy's 6 Ways from Sunday, and I should pay more attention. But hey, it's a parent. You gotta shut your ears off sometimes. But December 5th late is going to be good for that one. So other teaser trailer we do have. This was also shown. This was also released from Cinemacon through Paramount Pictures. Did anyone ask for a Naked Gun reboot? Because again, if you haven't seen Naked Gun, or if you were born after 1996 and have no idea what we're talking about, here's the trailer.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop. What do you want, little one? Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
That's the sound of the police.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you. Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
Sound of the police.
You know, he ain't wrong. That was the Naked Gun reboot. Starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Will be in theaters August 1st. The fact that, of course, it's directed by Seth MacFarlane, which again, it makes me want to watch it since he's going to be behind it. The same guy's behind Family Guy and Ted. I will give it a shot. Of course, thank you, lady. No, we did not ask for this, but it looks like it could be funny. I agree. Fellas, what are we thinking? Do we give Liam Neeson a shot, or do we just leave it in the background?
I know nothing of the original Naked Gun outside of Family Guy jokes, so I hate to be one of the people to say this will be my first experience with it.
I'll put it to you this way, because I was around for the Naked Gun in 33 and a half, 33 and a third. It was a spoof on police movies. That's all it was. It was one long joke on spoofs, and the fact that when OJ, before he had his moment, was likable. So, but I mean, it was funny. The first Naked Gun was funny, but the fact that they're rebooting this and putting Liam Neeson at the helm, hey, if it wasn't for Seth MacFarlane, I would probably give it a shot. But Joe, what about you? Joe.
If it predates my time, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, what do you think, sir? Would that make you want to watch the reboot? We don't know everything. As much as we do pretend, we don't know everything, Laney.
No, yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm part of the generation where a lot of the jokes and cultures I learned was through Family Guy cutaways.
Mm-hmm. But what about you, Joe? Your opinion on Naked Gun reboot?
I mean, I'll give it a shot. I remember watching the older ones, like in the early to mid 90s. They were fun. Because I mean, Leslie Nielsen would do anything for a joke, and Liam Neeson just getting to be that point where he knows, like, yeah, I can't do Taken movies anymore. My knees and my body won't allow it. So let's just make people laugh.
I mean, he could use some wins right now. The last couple of movies didn't do as well as he hoped. But again, come August, I guess we'll give it a shot. But the other trailer, Megan 2.0. Geek by Heart. I know you guys over at Geek. I know Lenny, you and Jay covered this in your trailers over at Geek by Heart. Also, I agree with Jay on Superman. That's why I was like, look, I'm gonna cry tears of joy there too. So I understand what Jay was feeling in that moment. But I know you guys covered it on your channel. But Megan 2.0 is a continuation of the first Megan movie. If you haven't seen it, Britney Spears owed them a thank you for using a certain song. But here's the trailer.
How do I say goodbye?
I'll admit, there were some bugs in my programming. It's hardly fair to blame me for that.
So hard to say goodbye.
But one thing hasn't changed. I will do whatever it takes to protect Katie. What the hell is this? You put me in this plastic Teletubby?
Prove you can be trusted, maybe we'll give you an upgrade.
Mrs. Forrester, we have a problem. We're hunting an autonomous android named Amelia. She was built using your design for Megan.
How's this possible? You deleted it.
Apparently you didn't. Nothing in our arsenal can stop her. She's gone rogue, killing anyone who's contributed to her creation.
I think I did it again.
And you and Katie are next.
I know how to stop Amelia. She's getting more powerful. Soon she'll be the most dangerous weapon on the planet. Put me in a body and I'll help you stop her.
You remember what happened last time. You threatened to rip out my tongue and put me in a wheelchair.
I was upset.
Look, she wants to help us. Everyone deserves a second chance.
You would like us to rebuild a deranged robot in order to catch another one.
Would you prefer I gave you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
Okay, Megan, time to give you an upgrade. Anything you'd like to add?
I want to be stronger, faster. Hey, so remember the time I strangled you and set the lab on fire? I want you to know that won't happen again.
Thank you so much.
And while you're at it, make me taller. All right, meat sacks. Let's get to work.
Well, look who came out to play.
I was programmed to protect Katie. The only question is, are you going to stand in my way? Hold on to your vaginas.
I don't care if she did kill 4 people. She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
I'll make you a deal. You can kill Gemma, but don't touch Katie.
Megan.
And that was the trailer for Megan 2.0. As you can see, guys, comes out June 27th. Again, Britney Spears owes Megan for the musical library that just got reopened again. For really, Boyz II Men is a hack. F that little creepy dog.
Really? She's not little no more. She got a growth spurt and all kinds of upgrades that will probably backfire on us in the third act.
Right. And nah. Fair enough, Verb. But no. I like I said, the first Megan was crazy. I could see them come back for a second one. I do like the fact they kind of did like a little Terminator-esque thing. It's like you basically upgraded her to fight the newest version. Again, what can we say about Blumhouse? Blumhouse is on a roll. And I guess the first Megan was a success. They just turned around and sat there and said, here's more money, make another one. So, Joe, your thoughts on this?
Kind of has Battle Angel Alita vibes in terms of like character design.
It does. I
That's
mean, it does.
I have no idea what the hell this movie's about.
Oh, it definitely does have Battle Angel vibes. I'll give that. But just to protect one child, although the first Megan was a little bit off. But Lainey, I think you liked the first movie, if memory serves me right, from you guys' reviews on Geek by Heart. But let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comments. But like I said, Cinemacon did happen. That was all the trailers that got released. I'm pretty sure if you go on the grand line, there was people actually showing some other things. We're simply not going to do that here, just because, well, we don't want people coming after us like the GTA 6 assassins. We don't need them because they're efficient. Blumhouse and A24 are killing they are. I mean, those two studios right now are killing it. I'm not going to argue about that. And Lainey says the first one was all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I heard the first one was okay. It's always about how you handle death in a PG-13 movie, because you got to kind of be clever about it, or at least make it believable. But I heard a lot of good stuff about. I don't know. I thought the first one was not going to be great. I still haven't seen it, but apparently reception-wise, the people was like, it did all right, and all right enough for a sequel, where it's not just they're just redoing it. Kill a robot again. They slightly doing a little Terminator 3 action. New android girl comes to fight old android with some upgrades. That's minus the world end, potentially world ending, since according to Megan, she's this huge threat.
Right. But I would give it a shot though, just because it's not really gory. It's almost like I said, it's like almost like a Terminator-esque movie, and like Lainey said, it was lightning in a bottle. But other news from Cinemacon before we get to the I won't call it a Nintendo dumpster fire, but let's just call it a major PR issue waiting to happen. But again, there was some news that did come out from Cinemacon that we can talk about. Most importantly, Disney's movie slate for 2025. As you can see right there, they do have Thunderbolts, they do have the Fantastic Four First Steps, Zootopia 2, Avatar Fire and Ash, The Amateur, Disney's live-action Lilo and Stitch, Disney's Pixar's Elio, Disney's Freakier Friday, Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, Ella McKay, The Roses, and Deliver Me from Nowhere. Now, that is the slate for 2025. Thunderbolts, again, we're all expecting it. Still looking forward to it. Shout out to the crew actually showing up in the Red Guardians limo, especially with David. I can't remember his last name. Still in Red Guardian-esque mode. Oh, David Harbour. Thank you, Joe. But definitely want to give them a shout out for that. Fantastic Four First Steps. There was told of a trailer of a clip that showed a pregnant Sue Storm. It was not confirmed. Other people are saying in there that she's pregnant, along going with her in a scene where her and the Thing are saying the Thing, or I should say Ben Grimm, was asking her if she was pregnant. She never did answer. So that leads to a whole nother thing. Zootopia 2. I'm not gonna like it. I like the first one. Avatar Fire and Ash. Why are we giving James Cameron? Why are we still giving this man chances? The man waited 20 years. Got paid 20 years to produce one movie that didn't equal up to 20 years. I'm just saying.
I'm fully. This is my 5-year plan. I fully believe Feige will put Endgame back in theaters for its 10th anniversary to make back what tiny chunk of change that Avatar got to reclaim the first spot, because I guess it was big in other countries, because when we finally got free from COVID, that movie had a huge resurgence for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
It also had the 4D push in America. Apparently, I saw I haven't seen it, but I heard I'm seeing a lot of good stuff about the Tron trailer because it dropped right before we went live.
Yeah.
I know the last one. Yeah, the last one happened, and I don't know where that is compared to the original. Even Kingdom Hearts tried it. We were all confused. Lilo and Stitch, that'll be good. Thunderbolts, I'm just waiting to see what it leads into. Amateur actually looks good. Apparently Badlands is supposed to be about a predator going good, and people are just like, we didn't ask you for that. Do the damn samurai thing.
Mm-hmm. See, now I'm tempted because there's somebody that Black Girl Nerds did put up the Tron Ares, and I'm afraid to play it because I don't think we can play it. I do see it, but I'm tempted.
Trailer tomorrow.
Yeah, because Black Girl Nerds put up what they actually saw at Cinemacon, and I'm trying to avoid that to say.
They got right now. I didn't realize they got an invite. Good for them. They are on the move.
I just had to do it. I had to do a quick YouTube search. I was like, I see it, but I'm not touching it. The Amateur, which is
do the voiceovers, or I'm trying to think of the creators I've seen. What is it those two are normally known for?
Which ones?
The one that you just said. The ones that went to Cinemacon?
Black Girl Nerds. It's usually, honestly, a lot of faceless content. It's like coverage and stuff. They sometimes do red carpets and press. But usually just a lot of like nerdy news updates, Black female perspective.
Yeah.
But I guess it was enough for them to get invited. You might be thinking of Black Nerd Problems, where it's where it's Tiffy Star Child.
No, they like sit there and do the dialogue for my TV shows, and it's two of them.
I know who you're talking about, and it's not them, but I cannot think of their name.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Tafari on that one. I thought about 3 different people just now. But still, The Amateur, which has Rami Malek, if you don't know from Bohemian Rhapsody, Mr. Robot, phenomenal actor. Lilo and Stitch, let's be honest, as Tafari has said many a times, you have a wonderful marketing system right there, and it's high time you freaking use it. I'm just saying, you can put Stitch in almost every Disney product and have him wreck it. You're missing a golden opportunity here. Disney's again Pixar's Elio, where again we're still wondering why that kid lost an eye, but yet wants to be picked up by aliens. I still want to know where the eye came from. Disney's Freakier Friday. Who asked for this? Don't get me wrong, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Lindsay Lohan, she's all right. But who asked for another Freaky Friday movie? That's what I want to know. Of course, Tron Ares has Jared Leto. That man can use a win, especially after Suicide Squad. He could definitely use a win in the movie columns. Predator Badlands, again, nothing wrong with Predator movies. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with this one. Not too sure about the last three movies, Ellie McKay, The Roses, and Deliver Me From Nowhere. Don't really know a lot about those, but apparently those are on the film slate. So this is what Disney is moving forward with for this year. Now, with that being said, anything, guys, regarding this? Because I know Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Zootopia, Amateur, Lilo and Stitch, Tron Ares, Elio, Badlands. I could see all those go. I could see myself going to all those movies, but is it a fair? Is Disney playing safe with the slate for the films this year, or is it just this is what they're planning?
I think it's okay. I think we got a good balanced. I think we got a good variety because between Predator and Zootopia and Avatar, which is like one more movie away from a lawsuit at this point.
Pretty much.
And like Zootopia, I have faith for it because I feel like you could have easily spit a sequel out like way back then, but they waited till they had something to do. Also, I see Quinta Brunson just got announced for the cast, so good for her. Mm-hmm. No idea what Ella McClay is. No idea about The Roses or Deliver Me From Nowhere. Mm-hmm. Elio looks cool because that's something original. Stitch will be just fine, especially if they do the whole native. Is that the right word for? They do the whole native tribe Samoan push like they've done for other films.
Yeah.
Tron will always have OG fans. Amateur, I think you got they've done a good job selling that. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. We're all trying to figure out what we're doing in the MCU, so everyone's going.
Yeah. Joe?
I think they have to play it safe because Snow White bombed so hard.
Yeah. But we know why. No one asked for Snow White.
Well, also other things and
Gal Gadot. Yeah, Gal Gadot's choices. Let's just
you know what I'm realizing about the influencer world of like film talk and stuff? It's that people come into the comments and rage about stuff that has happened that upset them after you've already seen it, even though you say like 3 times, hey, I saw this before everyone else, even the early screening people, and then no one tells them because it's free rage bait and engagement. I'm like, so that's why this works for y'all.
Yep.
And I'm realizing that in real time because it's like people are still angry commenting on my Snow White video. I'm like, I didn't say it was good. I just said I went to go see it. And it's like, oh, you support this or woke this and that. I'm like, y'all realize all the stuff you're angry about happened after I was in there, right? Like, and I'm now realizing, oh, that's the case for everybody who does this type of stuff. They just don't tell people because why not use that for free farming?
Very much.
And the discourse was Rachel Zegler, not Gal Gadot.
Oh, thank you. I think Gal Gadot did still get some heat, but that was for another reason.
The problem with that movie is, once again, and this is not to besmirch Rachel Zegler, but you cast the evil queen as Gal Gadot. You need somebody like a notch down from Gal Gadot, and that the movie would make more sense.
True,
because it's like the evil queen is like, who's the fairest one of them all? It's like, girl.
I'm not gonna lie. Even in the movie, it's very much like, who's the fairest? It's you. Who's the fairest? It's you. And then she grows up. Who's the fairest? Snow White. You. And then she's just like, it's like, yeah, you're getting old, bitch. And that's basically that's like the first act of the movie. I'm not kidding. It's like it's who's the fairest? It's like, yeah, like a little bit of crow's feet forming. You're not like a spring chicken anymore.
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping okay, honey? Are you moisturizing?
And then she's like, And then she's like, all right, take that little girl to the woods. And then the guy's like, you got to run. And then I'm just like, I feel like this could have been strung together so much. Also, she did not need a musical number at all. Like the entire theater was kind of just like, we're just coasting through this part.
Like I said, you got to cast somebody like a notch or two below Gal Gadot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie makes a little bit more sense because you do need like equivalence of attractiveness, and again, both beautiful women, but you still got the movie is all about one woman's inability to like be self-assured of her own attractiveness, but it's Gal Gadot, the woman who is playing Cleopatra,
and that bomb,
and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman we get.
So,
Cleopatra, we've told you to stop doing that.
We really did. We really did.
To be fair, the set didn't burn down this time.
True.
Did it catch on fire the first time?
That's the curse behind the movie. That movie has been that every production of that movie has had either an accident, a fire, people have been hurt. The supposedly the movie is cursed.
The ancestors of the ancestors of the people that Eddie Murphy and Michael Jackson were representing in Remember the Time have been trying to tell you for years. Cast it correctly, or we will knock it down over and over again. We will haunt that place like a
Golden Child. We just need to remember. It's in Golden Child. We just need to remember Viva Nepal.
Very much true.
We will haunt you like a Final Destination ghost if you don't get the casting right. Like, and it's just weird because it's like, you know what? I can also understand if it was like a lot of moms and daughters or daughters who are now old enough to have daughters, and it's like they didn't really get it. It's not really my cup of tea. You didn't really nail this right. It's a bunch of old, angry, single men, and Latino dudes that want to be seen as old white men for some reason. It's like, you do this. I'm like, who? Like, Hector, who told you to copy and paste? It's like, get off my feed. And it's just like it's if you tell me, the movie's bad, IMDb ratings. I'm like, right. You see how the date is coming up before any of those even got listed, old man? Like, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, buddy? It's who? Please log off and clog out. I can tell you're like one bad breath away from the pearly gates and getting kicked down to the fiery ones. So go away. Like, you clearly could use the good karma right now, and y'all didn't hate the Marvels as much. That's my point. And it's weird when people come from certain groups assuming that the reason the movie bombed is because of the specific thing they're mad at, and then they turn on each other in the comments. It's like that episode of South Park with the Yelp reviewers, when at the end it's like, we're going to confront them, and all 50,000 people thought it was about them individually. That's what the Snow White discourse is about. It's like, hey, the movie can just be bad because it kind of is, but y'all are trying to find all these other reasons. And then when somebody else is like, it sucks because of this, you're like, no, it's because of my thing. And I'm like, I'm just going to turn the notifications off. Have at it. I'm on like, I post like 15 other things, but y'all keep coming back here.
Yep. Now, I will say this for Cinemacon, though. Other news that did come out. Jordan Peele's new movie, Him, that stars Marlon Wayans. They did talk about that. Tom Cruise did come out for Mission Impossible, the final, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. There was also talk of, I'm trying to remember everything at this point. I know it's kind of sad. Spider-Man, let me not forget about that, because there was some Spider-Man news at Cinemacon. We did actually know of two things. First off, Tom Holland's fourth movie. He'll be the first actor playing a Spider-Man to get his fourth movie. I still think Andrew Garfield deserves his third, and Tobey Maguire still deserves his fourth, but that's just me. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, which we do know that's going to be the title of the fourth movie, which will be in movie theater July 31st of next year. No word on exactly what's it about, but we can only assume this is going to be following No Way Home, in which it's a reset of Spider-Man, going back to basics, especially back into the blue and red suit. So we're going to see where it goes from there. And we also found out about Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which will be in theaters June 4th of 2027. Someone get Shameik Moore and get him into PR training and therapy as soon as freaking possible.
Get him some Percodan.
Get the man a friend, please. The reason why we say this, guys, is because Mr. Moore has not made good choices in the last year. We would like to see the trilogy of Miles Morales, because again, Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse were very good films. I would like to see Beyond the Spider-Verse. I would like to see Prowler Miles Morales face him, and then puts a whole story behind that. I would like to see it. So Shamik Moore, with all due respect, sir, find friends, therapy, and a good PR person. Please don't try to fall in love with anybody on the cast. That's all we ask. But fellas,
I don't know why. I didn't even know all the Spider co-stars dating was even a thing. I thought that was just made up. Clearly, that does not carry in the animated form. And then when they said, hey, somewhere or everywhere, Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man fall for each other, and it doesn't work. Was that part of the script, or were y'all just talking and they forgot to turn the mics off?
That part. And yes, Lanny, the man could use a doggone dog too. But no, it's just the whole thing of like, I like Shamik Moore. I liked him as an actor. It's just that we've seen, and again, I'm not trying to point out Jonathan Majors. We have seen how one mistake can derail you, especially in the MCU. One mistake can derail you. And again, Moore hasn't really done anything bad. It's just he's had some creepy or
I think Mr. Wynn from Hey Arnold put it best. He's very creepy.
Yeah. He's had some cringe moments, but
I until somebody put up a compilation of like all of him and Haley's interviews together, and I was just like, dude, why? You didn't you already got humbled once when I know people kind of lit him up on the Breakfast Club the first time after he got cast as Miles, which I was like, I felt like he earned the boasting, but after Dope, you land Spider-Man, but I didn't know he was. Look, we just need to get him, sit him in a chair, then get him a lamp and spin it and scream, "There is no war in Ba Sing Se," until he finally just realizes, hey, you're going to go to the red carpets and act correctly.
Right. Just function enough to where we get a movie. Just come on, we're rooting for it. We're rooting for you at this moment.
So let's dial it back over to Spider-Man Brand New Day, because apparently Anya Taylor-Joy got casted. Being potentially casted in this. I have no idea who she's going to be.
And you know they're not going to tell Tom anything.
Like Anya Taylor-Joy, oh god, he's in college. That is so many women.
See, and they did that.
If we're getting street level to the where Kingpin's calling him out, I'm very much hoping we get a Felicia Hardy. I very much want. I
love her. I do not see her as Felicia.
And that's the thing. The fact that this is now him in college, this is basically him being low tech again. It can go. It honestly can go anywhere. And you know what? I'm kind of happy about that. I'm happy that it can go anywhere. I don't. It's not that I don't want to know, but at the same time, it's like I just want to see what they go with it from here on.
And before we get into these comments, I'm going to say, not our comments. Our commenting people are fantastic, but like anything else we get on like thing, it's not a body thing with her being Felicia Hardy. Felicia Hardy is just like a different body type from Anya Taylor-Joy. That's I've said my piece on that. It's just we've seen what Anya Taylor-Joy can do in movies. She is one for one Ileana Rasmussen. Like that woman is magic. Yeah. Both in acting and literally the character. She is magic. God, she could be like Deborah Whitman. She could be Gwen Stacy because we don't have a Gwen Stacy yet.
That's also possible.
She could somehow be Ileana Rasmussen, New York transfer student. I am fan casting right there. It's just me being in love with magic. But like Felicia Hardy, maybe they're going to take the 1992 anime route and she transforms. But I see that as like a poor body image choice thing to do to like give a woman who's got a gorgeous body already and kind of like I can't think of an appropriate way of saying this, so just a transformed, more physical, adaptive body. Like I'm really trying to like.
No, it's okay.
There's no appropriate way of saying like give her Anya Taylor-Joy's body and give her comic book Felicia Hardy body.
No, because
So,
that is very much part of Felicia's character, is flaunting it in Peter's face all the time, as well as being able to mess with his head. Which
she ain't thick, she busty.
that's
She points that out all the time.
yeah.
I mean, she does.
Because even in the Mary Jane Blackcat thing, Felicia points out, "I can't believe we crammed you into my suit. Your ass is so much bigger than mine."
Yeah, so I think like body type would be right. You need someone who can also serve the looks and sell the character. Like if you, I'm not getting myself in trouble naming actors, but just if you wanted to put
tightrope I just had to watch.
Yeah, like if you wanted to put someone in there who could do like Euphoria, who's not afraid of like Euphoria levels of showing it off. Yeah, if you want to do someone who's not like afraid of Euphoria levels of showing it off, but they need to be able to serve like Emma Frost's attitude about it, like the way she was very much just like the toxic relationship she has in the video games with Peter and Miles. Miles dealt with her once. It was like, yeah, I'm sick of all this shit. Why am I on a 3-way call with both of your ex-girlfriends? This is a beyond. Why am I on a 3-way call with both of your ex-girlfriends after one of them robbed Doctor Strange? Stop. Keep it in your pants, Peter. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, I'm okay if they cast her as Felicia. It's just one of those like, how are you going to pull this off? Because like, they are really good at casting people, both proportionate and acting wise. So like, she's got to be somebody else, somebody we're not thinking of.
Could she be another mutant? Oh
my god!
I was because I know we still have mutants to introduce. We still got Miles and his people to introduce. I still don't know what that Delilah woman from the game is doing.
She could be Liz Allen. She could be Harry Osborn's future wife.
Could we be getting Osborns?
We could be getting Liz Allen, whose brother is Molten Man.
Okay.
And then she does grow up to marry Harry.
That is a fair point. Sorry, guys, because apparently my camera has decided.
Okay, if anybody has camera recommendations, Spartan's camera is at the end of its life cycle. We're realizing.
I said camera I just don't use. He's welcome.
She is. Yeah, she is. She's kind of serving. She's kind of serving her in. But what I was gonna say. Anyway. But yeah, you guys do have you got a fair point about that. But also, while we're here, guys, I know my razor is it's headed toward that white light, and it's trying its hardest to stick around.
No, I'm saying I got a spare one I can just give you when you come over.
That is also that also works too.
I've also learned make sure you pull the slider all the way to the right like I did, because if you just get lazy and just go a little bit past the camera, you end up putting the thing and covering the actual microphone, which is what I ended up doing for like 3 whole last weeks. And now the sound quality is so much better. I'm over here tinkering with settings and I'm just like, oh, the holes on here have a purpose.
Tis true, but we're gonna work this out. My poor camera is trying to hold on for dear life. But Cinemacon, from what we got, guys, like I said, outside of The Accountant 2, Wicked for Good, which again, if you haven't seen Wicked, you definitely should. I know my wife, me and her watched Wicked. I thought it was great. Kind of looking to the for good part. Now, I always said it before. This is why I know that when it comes down to certain enemies, only the victors write the stories. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But we do got to get to our last part of the podcast. We saved this last part because it's the biggest part. Nintendo Direct. Because, guys, Nintendo Direct, well, let me go with this first. Because the April...
While he comes back, the April Fools was the Nintendo Direct as a whole. Hey, you guys are getting a game console. Psych! Zelda movie. You know what? I need them to do a Zelda. I have this great idea about how you can turn the Zelda movie and use it as a way to make a Smash universe. You can make it a 3-peat. You can make it 3 movies. You can make it start with Ocarina of Time, move over to Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker. use those as like Ganon reincarnating every time, but having memories from the other film. And when he finally dies for the third time, send him into Taboo's world. And he's been from if anybody's played Smash Brawl, send him to Taboo, and Taboo has been watching every universe. Link, you could introduce a lot of movies. You could go to reference everything. You can reference Sonic. You can reference both the Mario movies that are coming. You can reference, I don't know, I think Donkey Kong, technically. It'd be an easy way to set up a universe.
Yep. But with that being said, let's start with how they presented the Switch and certain features. Now, this might run a little bit long, 10 minutes, but it'll explain exactly why we're talking about it.
Of Nintendo Switch 2. These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2. And on the right Joy-Con 2, we've added a new C button. Let's take a look at some new experiences it offers.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys. Woo!
That was me.
That was you.
I think.
So quick.
Oh,
no. Wait, no.
Nix, I'm coming for you.
No, I'm about to get
Come on, no.
Oh.
Introducing Game Chat, a new feature for Nintendo Switch 2.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah?
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
Off for an adventure.
While using the Game Chat feature, your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay.
It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
Look at this. Jump on here. All right, let's keep going. Let's make a left right here.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
How did you get hit by a boat? Okay, nice.
It does look beautiful. It's so pink.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat with friends and family. If you open the chat menu and turn on game screen sharing,
Good job. There we go.
you can also share your game screen.
Did you see someone just like go on top of that dinosaur?
Really? They can do that?
I can do it. You guys, I just did it.
Oh, I want to do it too.
Oh, shoot. Oh, he's trying to eat me.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You can chat to your heart's content, even while playing different games.
Yeah, I know that one. It's so hard, right? It's tough.
Oh, wow. I'm like in the sky right here. I fell. I'm falling. Okay, we got it. We're safe.
Kirby, look, you're on a star.
That's so cute.
So cute.
You can adjust the size of your game screen.
Guys, I'm lost. Like,
where'd you go?
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall that's to your left. You're almost there. It's just like the wall. Like if she gets past the wall.
This is where I have to do a little wall ride.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So everyone can watch them play.
Oh, I think I know where you are. Wait. Okay, I think we have to try.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a picture here.
Okay, are you ready?
Smile.
Yay! Oh, yo, that's sick.
I like your pose, Meeks.
On the right Joy-Con 2 controller, there's an additional button. With the C button, you can pull up a chat menu.
Oh, dang. Oh, really cool. Nice. Wait, actually, guys, I got a call coming right now, so I'll be right back, yeah? Okay. Sure.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more. And there's this. By connecting this camera to the system.
Hey!
Hey, what's up?
If y'all don't get these Game Boy Color ass accessories out of here.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Good?
You can appear on screen and video chat while playing a game.
faces on here.
Wait, Nick, how was your test yesterday?
It was good.
No.
Here's how it looks with just the camera feed.
There you go. I bet you like that.
Can you wait for me?
Please look forward to games which use your camera feed like this.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. No, wait.
Good.
Go
That
left,
looks
go
good.
left, left,
Oh, wait,
left.
maybe
Let me
if I
fix
go a
it.
little more this way. Oh.
Using Game Chat. Even when you're apart, you can play games and hang out as if you were together in the same room. Play together or compete in online multiplayer games. Chat while playing your personal favorites. Decide your own rules for a retro game competition. Or hold a sports competition between families. All together, anytime, anywhere. Game Chat.
What did you think? In developing Game Chat, our goal was for you to enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends, almost as if you're all playing together in the same place. The camera you saw in the trailer is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which will be available on the same day as Switch 2. A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat. However, since we'd like as many people as possible to experience Game Chat, it will be available without a membership for a limited time. Hope you'll try it out. Additionally, Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch Parental Controls app, and different settings can be adjusted. For example, whether parental permission is always required when a child wants to use Game Chat to play with their friends.
We'd like to introduce another new experience you can share with family and friends. On Nintendo Switch, even if you just have one game, you can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend and play together. But on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game, with Game Share. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With Game Share, you can temporarily share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. Game Share also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier. Game Share can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch. Game Share support is also planned for select games exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, so we hope you'll look forward to it.
Up next, we'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
Please take a look.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen.
Okay, y'all could have done a better introduction than
Nintendo
that.
Switch. The system's thickness remains the same. With approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen. The screen supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles. The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast between light and dark areas of the images. The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system. Detach your controller easily by pressing the release button on the back. The SL and SR buttons are bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally. The left and right sticks are now larger. Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls. By adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes. It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via game chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly. Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you. Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand. You can move it freely, like this. In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well. It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
But not both.
Nintendo Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch, for storing your game downloads, save data, and more. Reading and writing data is also faster. Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR
That's what threw me off.
In TV mode.
I didn't think we'd be getting 4K.
Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan
They
to keep
have
the system
to.
cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Not all of them.
Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
As you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an...
Okay, so again, it's a little bit long, so...
Yeah, so they did. Oh, this is the whole direct. Okay, I thought it was just
the direct.
Man, you don't get this bullshit out of my face.
Yeah, it's the whole direct. I wanted to get the features of it. That's why I was kind of cut and pasting.
Yeah,
like
Switch 2. Here's some stuff you own but don't. Select games, not all games. Hey, remember the camera accessory from the Game Boy Color? That was great. Let's go ahead and bring that back. Like,
no, I got one worse. Just listen to the next 2 minutes because this is going to go into what we are also bringing up.
Launch as a paid digital game on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. So please check it out if you're interested.
Now, I'd like to share some more information regarding Nintendo Switch 2. This is the game card for Nintendo Switch 2 titles. It's the same shape as Nintendo Switch game cards, but it's now red and it has much faster data reading speeds. Next up is additional storage. Switch 2 will only work with micro SD express cards.
Here we go.
They're a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible. Please note that regular micro SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible. Additionally, to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your Nintendo account to use the System Transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data, digital games, and more. We're also releasing a new controller.
I stopped it right there because keep in mind about the cartridges because we're going to get to that momentarily.
Oh no! Please roll that next part for the Pro controller.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
It has a C button, which launches Game Chat, and on the back, there are new GL and GR buttons, which you can use to assign existing button controls. In addition, an audio jack has been added. We've introduced a few new features.
Okay, that's it.
Presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website will go.
Fucking 2025 talking about, hey, here's game chat and a headphone jack. Like, what? Also, I get we have the video. We already have the video a little bit lower so it plays smoother. And some of them screenshots and video shares were not looking great. Like,
oh, and the GameCube channel, which we didn't get to, but yes, there is a GameCube channel. But Tafara, do you want to go ahead and field goal that
I ain't subscribing to that shit, man. Stop playing with me. We're finally getting. Hey, look, we're getting Wind Waker for a third time. Like, why do y'all? If you hate Twilight Princess, just say that. Like at this point, because the Wii U remake was cool, but then you just threw the Wii U in the trash, and then you like landlocked it over there. But now they got the GameCube library with Wind Waker and a bunch of other stuff coming, which is like, hey, cool.
I hope that's the Wii U version of Wind Waker because that had a lot of quality of life improvements over the GameCube original one. And I hope it's just a port of that. Port.
No, that same thing. I'm hoping for the Wii U port because I heard the Wii U port was a lot smoother. I heard sailing wasn't as much of a pain in the ass. I heard you could move around a lot faster. Link Between Worlds. I've also heard good things about that one. We don't have that connected trilogy on one console yet, and that's what sucks. Because that's what I like the most about like those three games is realizing that Twilight, Ocarina, and what is the other one? Twilight,
Majora's
Ocarina.
Twilight Princess?
Well, so Majora's Mask is a sequel. Spirit Tracks is a sequel. But as far as like those three being the same story interconnected, Ocarina of Time.
Supposedly it goes.
So it's Ocarina and then it splits because it's the same Ganondorf, but it's basically giving us multiple timelines where he's terrorizing Link. So you got older timeline where Link doesn't. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's Ocarina, Majora's Mask, the Link to the Past sequel, that painting one, because we see old Link in the end of it, and then Twilight Princess because the ancient warrior that teaches you the sword moves is that Link.
I thought the ancient warrior was adult Link from the Ocarina time.
Yeah, which is also Link to the Past. Link is
okay. So that's what I mean.
Yeah,
because I know each of those games. Well, except Twilight, each of those has sequels. Like it goes Ocarina, Majora's Mask, and then it goes Wind Waker to Spirit Tracks. I'm talking as far as those
Wind Waker
three
to Minish Cap to Spirit Tracks.
Okay. Right, yeah, Minish Cap did happen. But I'm just talking as far as those three because it is the same iteration of Ganondorf, just terrorizing different timelines. And I didn't even realize it was that connected until I beat Wind Waker and realized, oh, they take you straight to Hyrule Castle because he remembers you from the first fight from 10,000 years ago. Like I've seen some Wind Waker, but I was actually shocked because I recently played it for the first time. I actually got a GameCube copy from like a friend of ours from We'll Be Watching. Shout out to Mayhem Media. And I was like, okay, I didn't realize they intertwined it this much. And then when I played Twilight, I didn't realize that Twilight is basically a branch timeline where it's the adult timeline. Well, no, it's not branch. The adult timeline, Ganon basically didn't get executed. He just escaped to somewhere else. And he basically has been in this alternate, almost timeline dimension where that Link is. So I know they get reincarnated, but it was cool to kind of realize, oh, this is the same version of the same guy who just keeps running into these kids no matter what he does or does to try to escape, which is why I think if they make a movie, it should be those three games and every time he dies, he just wakes up in another version of himself, like, oh, it was a bad dream, but instead it actually happened, and someone's actually been monitoring this. Yeah, Twilight, I also liked that it had like a darker approach to it, with the whole like shadow realms and stuff and the wolf. But yeah, learning that having somebody also made it like this beautiful fan animation. If you ever look it up, it's basically the end of the game fighting Ganon, but it shows Link like training with Ocarina Link. So the old spirit becomes Ocarina Link, and you're training in that white area, and the fight keeps switching between you training with him and fighting Ganon, and you realize, oh, he's basically teaching you how to go against Ganon, because he's like, I fought this guy before, so I'm just going to give you a carbon copy of everything he's going to do up until him landing the final blow. But I wish they would port it on Switch. Like, I have Ocarina on the 3DS, and that was fun. That was my first time like experiencing that story. I didn't realize I didn't realize Zelda has this whole thing where you don't fuck with the chickens, but I learned that the hard way. Those little fuckers are fast. Yeah, Ocarina was dope. Wind Waker, I think, was a nice spin, especially since they kind of did away with the Master Shield. But yeah, that was Twilight was my first.
Killing Ganon would be so much easier just not in a room with chickens.
Because
You have to get him to hit the chickens. That's the thing, because they're going to attack whoever's the one that lands that last hit. That's who ends up getting attacked. It's like when they were an item in Smash Brothers. It's like, hey, it's who gets that last hit, and then the bomb goes off, and here comes the entire fucking flock.
Pretty much, but
Sorry,
also
guys. Star Fox Assault, like. You keep saying so, and I get it. Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, Coliseum, those were good games. Because even that just had its 20th anniversary. And I feel like Pokemon will do some experimental stuff, because that one actually had a good story. I get you only had a select amount of Pokemon, unless you had an action replay like I did. And it was cool. Like, I thought Mirror B was a dope bad guy. I was surprised nobody's cosplayed him. But then it's just like, all right, we're going back to Emerald, Ruby, and then they did Gale of Darkness, and then they just never went back to that. And then I don't think we saw anything different until they tried like Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger, and then recently with Legends Arceus.
Nice.
There are some other good games on there. Like, we got Hulk Ultimate Destruction on there. We got Luigi's Mansion. We got the Rogue Squadron games.
So it's not just exclusives then.
Right.
No, I'm just saying we have a very, very good GameCube library. Like Chibi Robo.
No, I get what you're saying, because I remember Hulk was on PS2. So if Ultimate Destruction is on there, that at least lets me know we're not getting just console exclusive, which is great, because that gives us a bigger library.
Although we now have a new version of Hulk Ultimate Destruction and Donkey Kong, but that's beside the point.
That's Donkey Kong Odyssey. That is Mario Odyssey reskinned, and apparently.
Well, I'm glad y'all brought that up, because again, this felt like another Who Asked For It, because these are the games. I mean, these are the games, and I'm gonna start with Donkey Kong Bonanza first. These are the games that are coming out with the Switch 2 launch. And again, as Tafari said, it's Odyssey with a Donkey Kong skin. But I'll let you guys
This is Hulk Ultimate Destruction with Donkey Kong.
Also, I guess they're very sold on making sure kids know Seth Rogen Donkey Kong, because that is his design and everything they've shown.
Yep.
I wouldn't say this is a Seth Rogen fully designed one.
It seems it looks inspired, not like
We'll
Mario Kart. That is straight up movie Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, that I agree with.
Again, all I can sit there and say is who asked for this. That's Diddy. That's Donkey Kong Bonanza. As you can see, guys, comes out July 17th with the Switch 2 launch. So, fellas, again, don't get me
I don't know
wrong.
why you're hating on this. This looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks.
I'm not hating. Okay, I'm not hating. Of all the games you can
If
go
you're
with,
starting off with the phrase "Who asked for this?"
yes,
it's not
because
looking good for you.
Because I am asking who asked. Who in the Nintendo world, when Switch 2 was coming out, asked for a new Donkey Kong game?
We haven't had a new Donkey Kong game in a while.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but of all the titles you could start with, you go with this one?
I feel like they got to remind people that Donkey Kong and Star Fox are Nintendo flagship titles. They're very much not going to get. I feel like but I also feel like they get left off or just thrown into other stuff so often you forget they're their own thing. So you're never going to get people who ask for it. You're just going to get Nintendo to throw it out there and hope people latch on, which I think they will. I think they, even though it's very much Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong, I think you'll get enough people who are like, finally a new game that's 3D, because I saw people play Tropical Freeze for like one contractual upload and never touch it again.
Okay, fair.
I mean, the other thing we got to realize is Nintendo has not launched with a Mario game in like forever. Like, Switch console was Legend of Zelda. The GameCube was Luigi's Mansion. The Wii was I also think Zelda. I may be wrong on that.
Twilight Princess,
yeah,
and Brawl.
Twilight Princess, okay, there we go. GameCube didn't get Mario Sunshine until a little bit later because its launch title was Luigi's Mansion. So it's been since Nintendo 64 since Mario was the launch thing. So we're due for a Donkey Kong game.
And I would be fine with that.
They don't have the popularity of Nintendo without Donkey Kong to begin with.
And my thing is, like, I know Donkey Kong Country, but I'm just
Donkey Kong.
And my thing is, like, how many times you got to port Donkey Kong Country? And I think that was it. I don't think they've done a 3D Donkey Kong or open world Donkey Kong since the 64 game,
give or take.
And if you watch the Treehouse, the destructibility and the environment interaction is amazing.
That like you're fully showcasing his physical capabilities, and that's kind of what got me on that.
Which is fine. Yeah. I am just saying that would have not been the game I would have launched with. I would have probably had that be its own spectacle.
What would you launch?
I would any other type. Here's what I'm saying. Donkey Kong in its own right should have its own launch, not associated with a launch of a console. That's what I'm getting at. Donkey Kong could literally sell itself.
Not. It's a month after.
But still, it's like this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying coming down the pipe. I would have rather this been its own, and again, this is me nitpicking. I would have rather it's been its own direct than be connected to a direct, because this was the whole this whole pitch was to Switch 2. This whole pitch, like, this is what's coming out. Here's the price. Here's the accessories. Here's the games we're already throwing at it. Which, again, if you want to do that, fine. But when I look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm like, okay, it should have been given, honestly, it should have been given the same type of respect as Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It should have been that.
Probably will down the road, because we're getting a Mario Kart, which is launching with the Switch in 2 weeks. It's getting its own thing. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, the closer we get, it'll probably get its own direct.
But did it have to do it now? That's my whole thing. Because
Yes,
like we said,
because they wanted to know what the launch titles were, what the opening salvo of Switch 2 games were.
Yeah, but
They
between
only
the
showed us 5 the whole direct.
Yeah, but between the opening salvo and Trump's tariffs, I think they wanted to get out everything they could before.
And that's the counter argument. I can understand that counter argument, which kind of goes into what we'll talk about next, because that's the part where the counter argument is. And again, for all those that don't know, or you've been under a rock, we try not to be political on the show. We try not to be, although we do heavily stroke that you vote. But the big thing that we're talking about, guys, is that Nintendo has a problem. Initially, for all those that don't know, Nintendo Switches are usually manufactured and assembled in China, then imported over to the US and sold to us. Because of a certain individual in a certain avenue in a certain state who has decided to go to war with everybody else, as of Wednesday, decided to put in tariffs. For all those that know what tariffs are, long story short, you pay more. Because this individual put tariffs on practically everybody, Nintendo tried to be proactive and say, okay, we're going to move our productions from China to, I believe it was Vietnam. Is that right, Joe? If I got that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So they were going to move it to Vietnam to avoid the pricing. The problem is the person that we tried not to talk about that pretty much went to war with the world sat there and said everybody pays, including Vietnam. Now let me also say this.
Also including penguins. Penguins have to pay.
And penguins, apparently, I don't know what he's got against penguins. I guess he watched Madagascar one time too many. But keep in mind, let's also say this. The tariffs are not in effect as of yet. It's still going through the Senate. That's still a fight in itself. But if it was able to go into law and those tariffs did hit, it would increase the price of the Switch 2 nearly 50%. Some people have projected, since the Switch 2 costs $440 some odd dollars, it could knock the price up to as high as $600. Now, again, this is still all theoretical. No tariffs have been put in place yet, but that is the fear that these games are going to be the system itself is going to be ridiculously expensive. The games themselves, however, could cost up. Where, for example, I believe we found out that handheld games, the physical games, will be $79.99, which is round off $80. The digital games will be somewhat higher. Now, for retrospect, and I say retrospect because we do want to show full content here about pricing. We understand. If we were to look back at the N64, you already know this was, again, Toys R Us. You're paying $150 for the system, same way it was for the PlayStation. Games back then were still $60. There were some games that were a little bit higher, like Doom was almost $75. Turok, Seeds of Evil was almost $75. And I guess, again, going back to the other games that were a little bit lower in price. But again, we're not strangers to games being at least $60, especially with Super Nintendo. Again, even with the coupon back then with Toys R Us was give or take $135. Games were still $60 and $70 depending on what you picked. And of course, you did have your value games that were $40. But again, we're no strangers.
That's an attachment.
Say what?
That's the Super Game Boy. It's an attachment.
Well, you see what I'm getting at. The value, it's still not the same. It's still weird. It's still what we're used to. Even in 64, which again, a lot of people are still making the argument the system was $150. Controllers were $30. Games like Star Fox 64 with the Rumble Pack included, which actually was the first time I think we actually had actual vibration from a controller, if I'm not wrong.
I think it was what came out first, this or the PlayStation 1? Because wasn't everybody's first experience with vibration the Metal Gear Solid fight with the dude and the floating?
That was an upgraded version for like PS2 and whatnot, because you didn't have Rumble till Resident Evil Director's Cut,
give or take. And that's why I'm like, I think N64 was slightly ahead of PlayStation when it came to vibration controllers. I think it was only a matter of a month.
I remember the Rumble Pack. Also, income was a lot easier to get back then, so I think that's why the prices were what they were, because you could bring a
You
controller.
also got to think about it. Adjusting for inflation, that means these games would be about $130 to $140 today.
Right. But that's the thing I wanted to get at, because I am not fully against Nintendo. I mean, they are stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah, Nintendo's gonna Nintendo.
Yeah, so I'm not knocking them. I mean, you try to prevent a disaster. Hey, Kira, you try to present a disaster. You try to prevent one, and you just wound up walking right into another one. No, I mean, you can only do so much. Yeah, she must have just came off her run with South of Midnight.
No, just thinking that Craig of the Creek part where he goes in the laundromat and says, "Hi, fellas."
Hiya, fellas.
Right. But again, we're just pointing this out because I know Nintendo does get a bad rap. Games again, because I think me, Joe, and Fire covered this last year. We talked about, I want to say it was Tears of the Kingdom that they were teasing, a $70 game, and folks seem to be a little bit, on the fence about. But again, we just want to provide context. It's always been like this. Now, there are some things, and of course, we do have a couple more trailers that we're also going to be launching Switch 2. But the thing we wanted to bring up the most, and I think I just might have freaking closed it, is the fact that they're trying to actually, Nintendo's trying to actually go against scalpers, because let's be honest, PlayStation tried it, scalpers still got in and cleared everything out. What Nintendo is trying to do on their end is simply this. You have to have certain conditions in order to actually purchase directly from Nintendo. One of them being that you had to be a Nintendo Switch Online member continuously for at least 2 years with an active membership on the day the pre-order is placed. If you have family memberships, the person who purchased the membership will be eligible only. Anybody else will not be eligible. At the same time, you have to have a certain amount of playtime on purchase-paid Nintendo Switch games, including those with more prioritizing those that have more playtime. The next one I think is probably gonna, X-day some people out. Sharing your usage information with Nintendo, or opted to share usage with Nintendo to customize offers and recommendations. Also, this also may cut some people out. You have opted to receive promotional emails and messages.
That's what I opted out.
Let's be honest. If you've been to anything that you signed for online or just did in person, they always ask, do you want to be opting in for promotional emails or things of that nature? Nintendo's no different. So those are the conditions. It doesn't have to be all of them, but these are the conditions that will determine, how to keep people from buying directly from Nintendo. And again, trying to thwart scalpers.
Y'all need to do this shit with Pokemon cards. You should have to link your Pokemon Go account and have played for at least like a year or something, because
that part.
Y'all,
they're getting there.
I mean, hey, I'm sure Costco is seeing a rise in memberships now. God bless, between the Target boycott and y'all being the only people to still peddle the cards. Y'all got people in there clocking each other in the face for just to go and flip it for other people on the internet who don't have money. Like, it's
crazy. But also, there's another thing I did want to point out too that also may ruffle some feathers. I had to hurry up and pull it back up because I accidentally closed the window. Now that I got my cam, was it
the ass of a battery life?
No, it is. And Joe had brought this up to me, and the first thing I sat there and said when I saw this, because I used to work in the RSA security days, is that Nintendo is coming out with game key cards. Now, let me explain this before I get to the end. Now, they are, on the right, you'll see this as standard game cards, which means that the full game's on the card. Now, these game key cards, this is basically going to be with digital downloads and how you share games. The key card itself is an empty card. Okay? There's no game on it. It just contains a code that allows you to download the game to the device itself. And without the key card, you will not be, you'll still be able to download the game, but you won't be able to unlock it. So, this is also, again, them trying to, how can I put this ever so nicely, protect, trying to defend against scalpers by sending out these game key cards, which are basically nothing more than small RSA cards. If you've worked in a call center, if you've ever worked with a computer that requires one of those small tokens that generate 6 numbers every 10 seconds. Same idea. But this allows you to actually share games as long as you have the key card. If you don't have the key card, well, then you have a game download that you can't play. Now, I understand the ability behind this. I understand what you're trying to do. But like most things, eventually somebody's going to crack it. And then you'll just be able to download games and use that to unlock it and then play. I'm not knocking Nintendo for this idea, but I'm just saying it's only a matter of time before somebody breaks it. That's all I'm getting at.
This somebody made this, right? This isn't from like an official Nintendo.
No, somebody did make this.
Okay, I was gonna say because this is like very ghetto of y'all to put out. If this is what you mean, but let me see what. So game key cards, physical card requires da. Look, as long as I can keep my copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we're good. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take completely normal for 500, Alex. Not literally, but yeah.
And that's why I'm not knocking it. I understand from a shareable, if you want to share your game with other people on the Switch, and you have the actual unlock key, I can understand that because it's still, no matter what, you pay for the right to download the game and unlock it as long as you have that key. I'm just saying, if the key is the wall that keeps you from unlocking on a Switch, that means it's just a code that somebody can figure out in the long run. And I'm like, that it only works for so long. That's all I'm getting at. But Joe, your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's not going to detrimentally affect anything.
Mm-hmm.
I see this as kind of more of a push to physical, to digital over physical, but at this rate, we may have to, because with digital, there's no physical copy they have to produce, so less money.
I can see that, but I'm from a technical side, I'm like, it's only a matter of time.
No, technically, no. Once they crack that thing, it's going to be a free for all. But
right, that's what I'm getting at. It's like it only serves a purpose until somebody figures it out. But like Joe said, I've also Mario Kart World again is an open world Mario Kart, which again I give them credit for. And I'll just let this play out
from Moo Meadows and the Penguin.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. So we're getting a new Mario. I'm curious how they're gonna try to force a new Smash, and I fully see it just being.
They're not doing a new Smash because Sakurai is working on Kirby Air Riders.
I know, but they've had one for every console, and I don't see them breaking that tradition. It's gonna be Smash Deluxe, just all the DLC in one cartridge is what I'm calling. Because remember, Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U title, and then the Switch, and they're just like, yeah, here's everything.
Right. And that's what makes me think, I mean, we might not get Smash now, but I'm like Tafari said, it goes with the rotation. With every new inclination of a new system, we do get a new Smash. Although Smash Ultimate, it's kind of hard to beat that right now. I mean, Mario Kart 8 was great, don't get me wrong. I see what they do for Mario Kart World. You had to make it open world. You had to come out with different tracks. You had to do a lot of things different because you gave so many updates to 8. It's like, what more can you do with Mario Kart outside of it? Make it open world. It makes sense. But again, I'm not knocking it though, because let's be honest, Mario Kart, much like Smash, will test relationships, friendships, marriages, and situationships. Depending on how strong your ship is.
Sakurai, if you can hear me, I'm telling you, it's if they come knocking at your door and threatening to make another game without you, just tell them what Smash Ultimate or Ultimate Squared. Just here's the game with all the DLC, and as a bonus, Subspace Emissary. Just keep the same cutscenes. They can even be Wii quality. Just let us play with the updated roster. That's all I ask.
Well, definitely that. Well, we do have 2 last trailers. Again, these are the games that are coming out with the Switch. Start with this one because I thought we were done with Hyrule Warriors, but apparently they have turned down another game. This one is called Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
This is like the sequel to the last one, where Zelda goes back to the alternate timeline.
And they psyched everybody on the reason to buy it.
Funded from the heavens.
joined hands with the Hylians, who
See what
dwelled
happens to
in
Hyrule, but Psych, you actually
Their
undo
union
that
led
whole
to
future.
great
We lied.
His kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose. A war was fought to vanquish this evil, one which future generations would call the Imprisoning War.
Perhaps you truly have traveled back in time.
So that's Hyrule Castle? Then that must mean this really is.
How?
I went Safari on that one. How? Because if I read that right, and let me see if I can. Right there. So the story leading into Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Wait. Doesn't that follow Breath of the Wild though?
Say Breath of the.
So I actually know how this works. So this is the new timeline where Zelda goes in the past and undoes some stuff.
Okay.
This is the story that leads into Tears of the Kingdom. This is the moment where Ganon gets the sword through the gut and imprisoned.
Okay.
So this is where Tears of the Kingdom opens up and they find the mummy body of Ganon. This is how that happens to Ganon. And Ganon becomes the pig fart cloud.
Oh, so that's how we get to this.
Yes.
Basically.
If she goes back to the present and then back to the past for a second time, that's just because the first game was good. I just know a lot of people did not appreciate feeling lied to about the story because you sold it. Like you just said, hey, here's your chance to undo the timeline. That's one thing. You said, hey, here's how Hyrule fell, and it was like, psych, you actually fixed it. But like, you could have just told us that up front,
right? Could have, but I'll give it a shot though because I did like Hyrule Warriors, and again, I still got to finish Tears of the Kingdom. I have not, so I'll give it a shot. But what do you guys think?
I got to start Tears of the Kingdom. A little more story beats. Give me some more information about what we're doing here, and I'll look into it.
Joe.
I don't typically play them, but I mean, I would still like to try it.
Fair enough. The last one we got, guys, the last trailer. Again, this is also going to be released at Nintendo Daemon Ex Machina Titanic Scion. I'm going to be honest. I had to watch this twice. I was like, I didn't really know what I was watching at first, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of intrigued.
I'll give you a hint. It's a Joe game.
The name told me.
Here's the trailer.
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence.
Oh yeah,
Weapon
definitely.
Safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels. Testing data link with spine. Normal. Commencing launch.
After 2 long wars where our freedom was restricted, we will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale, and you're buying.
Rebels! Thanks for the warm welcome!
This planet will be ours.
The Sovereign Axiom, the Trinitas, has almost completed a weapon that was created to destroy all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you.
I'll tear you apart!
All children bring hope to our lives, don't they?
Is that who was doing the voice in the beginning? Because I recognize that too.
Yeah, it's Johnny Bosch. So this is also Hopefully better with its story, because Damon X Machina had a very weird, convoluted, hard to follow story. Also, we're not giant robots this time. We're kind of in like power armor. So this is kind of reminding me a little bit of Vanquished.
I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of Anthem.
Metal Gear Solid Revengeance a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it. I still want to try it out.
I'm definitely getting it. I hope they do an Astral Chain 2 at some point. That did sell over 1 million copies.
That's gonna be a question to see if they do it or not. But no, Damon X Machina, I can get behind that. But that's the least. But that's what we got for the Switch. I'm gonna be honest. If you are intending on buying it, right now you're kind of safe. However, if the tariffs hit, be prepared to pay a little bit more.
We are forgetting something.
What are we forgetting?
We're forgetting the article we put in about GameStop delaying the Switch 2 pre-orders because of the tariffs.
Oh, yes, we did. Sorry.
That was my whole joke about the Okie doke. You're getting a new console, but not really.
Yeah,
so this game to potentially 600.
Yeah,
I think the tax equates to 1.46%.
Yeah. Because I didn't think about that one. Yeah, because they said because of the
somewhere around there.
Yeah, so that's correct. Yeah, they are. Since correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm kind of speed reading. So GameStop and Nintendo did announce the pre-orders for Switch 2 in the US will not start on April the 9th because Nintendo, of course, will need to assess what's going on with the tariffs. So GameStop did say in a notice, let me pull it up here. Pre-orders of Nintendo Switch 2 in the U.S. will not start until April the 9th in order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 has also changed. GameStop will continue to work closely with Nintendo and provide updates as soon as more information is available. Stay tuned for further details. Is it bad that we're depending on GameStop to actually save us?
Either them or whoever runs their socials, because that person at least seems to be a nice guy or gal.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo put out the actual thing and they just retweeted it.
Yeah. And of course, the Switch 2 was supposed to be $450 before the tariffs. And again, because of right now, unfortunately, we are just not we're in free fall. I mean, no, not free fall. We're just in holding. Like we said before, the tariff situation hasn't went into effect yet. It does not. I mean, right now it's kind of a hold situation until otherwise. But again,
so I'm Asian and bad at math, but by my logic, that would mean that it should be $479, $489 for the base model, and
give or take a dollar.
$29 to $539 for the Mario Kart pack-in.
You also remember we got the highest tax bracket us living in Tennessee, so we're going to be looking at an easy 5. Now, in case not Tafara's case in Texas, you might be the same way. Texas's bracket is about, I think if we're number 2, Texas is 4, if memory serves me right. So we're all going to wind up paying at least half a stack for the Nintendo Switch if we want it.
Hey, look, let me know you guys make the 2 OLED or the 2 Pro or the 2 Go or the 2-2 squared. Because right now, if it's that souped up and it only has 2 hours of battery life, like
at that point, just keep it in the dock.
What is the name? Because I want to make sure my insult is properly said.
Yeah, I'm like, for 2 hours of battery life, you've got that hardware is battery draining. It might as well just stay in the dock.
That's what my plan is. The Switch 1's going to be the travel system, and Switch 2 will be the dock when I get it. Of course, by the time I get it, it'll probably have an improved battery life. Because remember, they did improve battery life in like the 3rd revision.
Yeah, the Switch 2, the Switch 1 was perfect. It was smart. It was travel size. 2 people can play it. Battery life wasn't bad, but the additions that came down along the years, it definitely made it better. But you would think the Switch 2 would have learned.
You need to keep in mind that this is 2 to 6 hours depending on game. So if you're not running a very intensive game, you're probably fine for a little bit.
Yeah, but more than likely, you'll maybe get what, an hour, maybe 2. maybe 2 hours max before you have to charge that thing back up.
It depends on what game you're playing.
We play a lot of games. We play a lot of intensive games, Joe. we play a lot of intensive, heavy games, so it's go. That's good. That's saying a lot, but no.
I can't find the name. It was called Sun something. They were a cheap ass battery brand.
Sun. Sons of Blood.
No, Sun. It was a battery brand, like cheap
third party. Third party Temu.
Somewhat, it's very much like dollar store batteries when you couldn't get like Energizer or Duracell. Point is, my Game Boy Color holding those after being in the freezer and being on E runs longer than a Switch 2. Let me know when y'all get better batteries or when the Pro version comes out. I am good.
Fair enough. Well, either way, like we said, guys, it just like I said, it's pretty much a holding pattern anyway until they figure it out. But we got anything else, guys, before we call it a night?
Nah, all my stuff is for my outro.
Cool. Well, with that being said, guys, we are definitely going to go ahead and wrap it on up. And as we usually do, I'm going to start with the man, the legend, the myth. If my screen will work, because I just now got the camera to behave. So there we go. Go ahead, Tamara.
All right. Videos out on the channel. I have Life of the Immortal, because that man probably served through every war in Invincible. I have Kingdom Hearts 3 skit where you can watch me terribly speak Japanese with the help of Google Translate. New shorts have been posted. Thank you, Compulsion Games and Xbox. I got to play a little bit of South of Midnight early today. So very much immersive story, very much having a lot of fun with that. Also just posted an update. It's not on YouTube, it's on my Instagram. Major update for Blurred Station. Found my way into the BlurredCon YouTube channel and I have scheduled all the lost files y'all been looking for like 2 years. Also to give back to the people. If you were in the streams, everybody should be tagged and timestamped and credited so people can find you. Some of you really made me hunt you down, and that's kind of annoying, but I do it because I care. Officially all of the episodes of the Convention Survival Guide are out. Hopefully doing something in 3 days for the Goofy Movie's 30th anniversary, which looking forward to the documentary. I know there's something. Oh yeah. Early screenings for The Amateur. So stay tuned for a review on that. Ianu, because we're still waiting the embargo to get lifted. I think that comes out in a couple days. Ianu review will be coming out. Sinners review is also coming out because I just got an invite for that.
Nice.
Trying to think if there's anything else I am forgetting about. Clips Monday, Wednesday, Fridays on Blurred's Eye View. Stay tuned for those. April has been a very busy 72 hours. So trying to get this month mapped out. There's a lot I want to do, a lot I need to get done. So stick around. I will be all over the place. If you're at AwesomeCon, I know some of our people are out there as well. I know Hellspawn is doing a kids cosplay clinic tomorrow.
Yep.
And then a few of our people are floating around at the BlurredCon booth. So if you're out there, say hey, say hello. Everyone's approachable. Other than that, I think. Okay, so yeah, Mondays and Fridays will be South of Midnight. Wednesdays, I'm finally doing the final season of The Walking Dead. So April will be a very spooky themed month as far as games are concerned. Still putting out some short content here and there. So a lot of stuff in the pipelines. Stick around.
Sweet. Thank you, sir. Joe, want to let people know what you're up to, sir?
Yes. Now, you can see on Twitch, I am streaming some Monster Hunter. I actually got to hunt with the nice people over at Axe the Blood God. It's an independent RPG podcast with game journalists from Game Informer and IGN. Got to go help them out on their weekly monster hunts this week, so you can watch that over there on their Twitch stream. Give them some love. I will be back to Metal Bringer soon. Work is work, so I got to deal with that first before I can stream. But we'll be back with Metal Bringer and some BattleTech. I'm just really busy because April's really nuts for me personally. Other than that, just on here, I'm gonna do as much as I can, but not gonna be too much. I'll be out and about with the Tennessee Ghostbusters on Wednesday at Belcourt. They are doing a once a week movie from the Saturday Night Live collection, and this week is Ghostbusters, so we'll be there with the Tennessee. I'll be there with the Tennessee Ghostbusters. Pardon. I think that's it. Watching the new anime that starts this season.
Fire Force did start.
New stuff comes out all through the week, so 2 bombs already. Let's see where this goes.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Before I do get to myself, some shameless plugging like we always try to do here. Shout out to Rick's Comic City. Again, Nashville's #1 place for comic books, for Funko Pops, for pretty much everything geeky and blurry. Definitely check them out in the 2 locations, Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. Also check out their website at rickscomiccity.com. If you go in there, you'll definitely see us on their television screens. They show us love, so we want to show them love back. Definitely check them out. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, please support your local libraries, support your local bookstores, support your local comic book stores. They need your patronage, and most importantly, they need your dollars. Why? Because to keep these doors open. Also, hint, hint, libraries carry the most up-to-date comics, mangas, and video games. I found that out walking into my own library, so definitely keep those places afloat. Also, shout out to APR TV or Always Press Record. Why? Because the Give It podcast is actually on there as well, along with other shows. Definitely check them out, whether on Amazon Fire TV or the Roku, a Roku channel versus the APR TV. Definitely check them out, guys. They are the table that we need to keep these places going, where our patronage, our viewership, and most importantly, our dollars should be going to. So definitely check them out, APR TV or alwayspressrecord.com. BlurredStation.com. Again, guys, they were there at BlurredCon on the BlurredCon channel, the stream that was going on. Definitely check out BlurredStation.com because, again, they do have their own entertainment, their own movies, television shows, things of that nature. Definitely check them out at BlurredStation.com. Hit the Join Now button, select the Blurred's Eye View of any membership, select any member there. We'll all appreciate it. $10.99 a month to stream Blurred Station. After 36 months, you get to own a piece of Blurred Station, and it doesn't get any easier than that. But definitely check them out, much like alwayspressrecord.com. Why? Because I want Tubi to suffer, because Tubi has basically gotten rich off us, and Tubi is owned by the same guys that own Fox. So let's do them the same way we do Tesla, just not the arsonism. But definitely check out blurredstation.com. As for myself, guys, Black_Spartan, if you would be so kind to check out the GB podcast on all socials. Why? Because we're trying to give the GB podcast its own channel. So definitely go on Facebook, go on YouTube, go on TikTok, go on Instagram, like, share, and follow as we try to do more with the channel. As for myself, guys, Black_Spartan615, like and share and follow me there. I talk to everybody. Just don't make it weird. I don't have to block anybody. And just like Tafari said about with the con, and of course his con series, which I highly recommend because cons are back up and running, I simply have 3 rules. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please treat people like human beings. It's not that freaking hard. Number 2 is hygiene. I cannot stress enough the fact that now that I have children, I am very, very, very paranoid of people that are not clean, because kids are walking petri dishes, and if my kids get sick, then I get sick. And if I found out that you got me sick through my kids, I'm whooping your ass. I am being so honest about that. The last rule that I have for myself is I have for everybody else. In a world that is cruel, that is cold, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms, invite people to cons. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. And the last thing I'll say, guys, before we wrap this up, if you are in the lower mid areas, the mid-state all the way to the East Coast, there have been storms, there have been tornadoes. We are still in it for another couple of days. Hopefully you guys are safe and dry, and if not, may you get to a place that's safe and dry, because trust me, Mother Nature is not playing. At the same time, guys, protect your peace, protect your strengths, check on your strong folks, check on your people. At the same time, guys, do something that makes you laugh. Get away from the doom scrolling. Do something that makes you laugh. Do something that makes you happy. If you have the ability to do it for somebody else, please do so. The world could use more of that. Because again, we're in it. We're in some dark days, folks. I mean, not to quote the Reverend Navy, because only he could do a sermon. I'm just a deacon, as Kira said. At least listen to Deacon Deadlift. No, I just passed.
Close the doors.
Exactly. When Reverend Navy says close the doors, that's when I pass around the plate. We got to make sure church's money gets collected. But that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. Again, let us know your comments on everything that we talked about. At the same time, we will be back here next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, to bring you news of the week. Unfortunately, we will come back and cover Daredevil because we didn't cover this week's episode. We will come back and cover the previous week along with the current one and go from there. Some comics, because I think, Joe, you said Absolute Green Lantern just released, so we'll probably be covering that next week as well.
Oh yeah, that thing is amazing.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot. So we already have a lot to go over next Friday. But thank you all for watching. I've been Will, he's been Joe, he's been Tafari. This has been the Give It Podcast, guys. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and I promise we'll get through this. Have a good night, guys. Peace.